Lights, camera, debate, ignite, passion strong under the spotlight. Tune in for the clash, tune in for the spark. The critic and the cynic light up the dark.
Welcome back to the Critic and the Cynic. So let's take a look at the third out of the 6 movies that we're taking a look at this week. And this one kind of interests me just because of who's on the poster here.
Yes. So any of you people out there that are familiar with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, we have the ants.
Yep.
Front and center. Well, not really front and center, but like...
They're in the front.
Yeah, they're in the foreground of this poster.
Okay, so this movie is called Holiday Mismatch, okay? And it literally starts off, the premise literally starts off saying best known as the ants on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like, this is how they are marketing the film. They're like, yeah, we're doing a bunch of these Hallmark films. Everything kind of blends in together. Some things are convoluted, some things are boring, some things are whatever. But at least we can say that this new movie, this has the ants from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And I think that's going to bring in a lot of people just to watch it for that, which is why they're, like you said, front and center on the poster.
Well, because I would tune in, because I liked Sabrina back when it was on. I grew up with that, so I mean, this alone is like, okay, I would tune into that.
Yep. Let's take a look at what it says. So we have the tagline of Merry Mothers Know Best.
Oh, okay. So we've got some overbearing mothers.
What kind of other overbearing mothers? I don't know. Okay, on the poster, you got those ants from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. They're both holding a half of a cookie that's in the shape of a heart. Yeah. And in the background, you see a couple that are like dating or something.
So
they're fairy godmothers.
Yeah, or they're like overbearing mothers trying to get their kids together, or something.
It's possible that they are overbearing helicopter parents or something like that. But I like to imagine, because they are the witches in the TV show, that they're just kind of playing off of that, maybe being a little bit cheeky and having a little bit of holiday magic, because I'm still waiting for a movie with some holiday magic. So let's take a look at what the premise says. Rhea and Broderick portray women who clash at a Christmas committee meeting and find out that they've accidentally set up their adult children via a dating app. Okay, they are real people. They're not fairy godmothers. Gosh dang it. As their kids fall for each other, the mothers find an unexpected friendship. That's kind of cool. I think that the older ladies having a friendship, I don't know if they're going to be the main characters. I hope they are.
Yeah, I hope
it's gonna focus on the young ones, though, you know it.
Well, sure, but I mean, I'd rather see them kind of going at it and then finding their friendship. Like,
it's like grumpy old men, but like grumpy old ladies. But I was.
They don't have to be grumpy. They could just be eccentric.
Well, yes, that's okay. Grumpy is what men are, and eccentric are what women are.
Not always. I mean, means the same thing. Sometimes you got some grumpy women, but like, I'm hoping for these 2 actresses that they're more like quirky and eccentric.
Yeah, they'll definitely be quirky. They're funny. They're funny. Well, we'll see. Like, I remember them when they showed up in the Netflix Sabrina show. Yeah. That was fun. Because they were playing the same characters, weren't they? Because it was like an alternate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they like still have what it takes. It's like they've never taken a step out of those characters that they played decades ago. They can still jump back into that role. So if they can do that, they can still play pretty funny, quirky ladies. So
I mean, the 2 of them together are just, obviously they're going to have chemistry because they've worked together so many times.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that for that reason only. And I'll say I didn't really watch the Sabrina show. I watched bits and pieces of it. I've seen episodes here and there, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So I'm definitely interested in what they do for this. I was just hoping it was like a magical thing.
Well, I get it. I mean, they absolutely could have gone that direction, but for me, I'm just like, oh no, that's mothers setting up their kids.
Yeah. Okay.
2 hours later.
So I did like the fact that this movie centered around basically like a non-romance, really. The 2 main characters were at odds with each other, and while there was a romance, it was more of a background story.
Yeah, and in the romance angle of it, this is where they decided to get weird again with their stuff getting too convoluted, I would say. And that is, well, we have all this rivalry going on with the older ladies. Everything going on in their own lives about questioning retirement and what to do. You also had the stuff with the young lovers. Now, they were also doing the just go with it, fake a date until we actually fall in love thing that we already saw last week with Twas the Date before Christmas. It was the same thing. Though, I will say that it actually makes a little bit more sense and was focused on a little bit better in this film than Twas the Date. Twas the Date was just, it was a holiday get-together. You got your family Olympics with Christmas-themed stuff going on the whole time. And you kind of forget that they're doing this whole thing where they're faking the fact that they're dating. This one was actually focused on quite a bit more because that was part of the charm. You had the young lovers. They were faking dating while their mothers were trying to break them apart.
Right.
That's essentially what the plot was, which is double the fun. I mean, in theory it is, but like I said, it is a little bit convoluted. Too much thing going on when really we didn't need to focus on that much. But I do appreciate that there was a fair amount of balance there. The last movie, we had the parents and the kids, and there wasn't much focus on the kids. So when there would be this odd focus on them about, hey, oh yeah, let's bring in the fact that they're going through something too. Let's say that this guy's struggling saying I love you, and then this girl's like, commitment, yikes. In this one, there was a fair amount of balance on focusing on both these two different people, or at least two different groups.
And I would say that both groups were maybe equally or almost equally likable, whereas the previous movie, the kids were just, they were there to further the story along for the parents. It was not really anything about them.
But it's nice to see, like you said, that the main characters, the central main characters, were these two older ladies, and it wasn't a romance. So,
right.
Yeah, but the romance was there. It was just that it's a nice step back from what we're used to seeing with Hallmark.
And compared to this previous movie, we still had that dynamic, like one free spirit and one person with a stick up their butt. Like it was just, like these just two people at odds.
It is. It's not a romance. So it's a friendship.
It was a friendship.
Right.
And I don't know how many people saw Grace and Frankie, but the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that friendship can be really awesome, and you don't need that romance angle.
True. I can get behind that, and like you got friendship and you got romances, and they kind of follow the same beats. Opposites attract. Doesn't necessarily have to mean attract to the point of falling in love, but it can mean appreciate each other and in terms of just friendship.
Yeah, because everybody has their own strengths, and once you learn to appreciate that, then it makes those relationships even deeper.
All right, so let's see some 3 positives to say about this. Obviously, the aunts.
Yes.
They've had chemistry for decades at this point. We knew going in that they'd have chemistry.
Right.
I would say the slight step back from romance to friendship in this. The romance is there. I feel like it has to be no matter what. But the fact that it is more so about friendship than anything else is a positive for me. And you got anything else?
I mean, it was fun enough. I mean,
enough. Yes.
It was a little bit forgettable, but I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, put that in quotation marks. Fun enough. Hillary, 2024. Yeah, sure. That's a positive. Fun enough. But if you were to rate it,
well, it's better than the previous one, so I'll go 65, like your last one.
Last one I said 65, and this one, I'll say 65 as well. I think that they both have positives and they both have negatives. And the negatives with this, I would just have to say, I was a little bit bored at times. The general premise was fine. I feel like it was a little bit dead in the water for a while, though, because it wasn't advancing anything.
Right.
Until, things get learned and people realize things, and then it can move at that point. But a lot of the silliness throughout the film was neither here nor there for me, just because narratively it wasn't really going anywhere. So that's the part that felt a little bit stagnant to me, felt a little bit boring, and I wasn't as fully engaged as I was with the last one in certain regards. So I will also say 65, just because I think same amount of positives and negatives, just it's different. So short, sweet, and now we are on to number 4, our fourth film, which is called